Every day. This is Kelly, and I Bring It Every Day is my channel. And as part of my channel, I like to do motivation on Mondays, and I do some knitting and crochet with my group on Wednesday, usually Wednesday afternoon about 1 p.m. Eastern. And then Fridays, I like to talk about, I do cooking, usually live, and then we talk about food. So there it is. But I just wanted to come in this morning. I'm going to try something a little different and just a little change of scenery, just to switch it up a little bit. And then we'll talk about some motivation. So we'll see if anybody comes in. Yeah, I'll just wait a few minutes and then we'll see what happens. All right. And let's see what happens. So anyway, welcome in. All right. Good morning. I see one person gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. And welcome in. So usually what happens is on my channel, sometimes Mondays can be tough to get started. And I'm literally just getting started this morning. And what I like to do is I like to try to have the I Bring It Every Day on a, this is a positive space, where I don't mind people's differences in opinions. And then, like I said, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen because I cook. But there it is. All right. So let me fix this here. Got to fix one thing. And I'm trying to stop my reliance on StreamYard because it's getting so expensive. I'm a little concerned. And I don't have a chain, I don't have anything picked out what I'm going to use. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yes. And I think a lot of people are going through this where they're just saying, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, for the change in situation. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting. Yeah. Was it $40 a month or something like that? It's pretty pricey. So I'm not really sure what to do there. You know what I mean? Yes. So there it is. All right. Let's put that in there. Fix it. But anyway, thanks for the thumbs up. Whoever came in. Appreciate you. I'll change out my other. Oh, okay. So we got some thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much. So anyway, do you guys need motivation if you're still listening out there? Usually what I like to do is, this is just the way I've sort of lived my life, is you sort of have to do some planning in your life to figure out like your next steps. And a lot of stuff doesn't just fall into your lap, although sometimes it does. But, it's always good to write down sort of what your plans are. And I do this in just a random notebook journal. A lot of people don't write anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do this on your computer, your phone, but I think it's much easier when you sit down and you meditate and you write it down. Yeah. Okay, so we got Backlash Fisherman. Good to see you. And I don't know how to... Oh, Rico Edits. Hello. Good to see you. Yep. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming in and saying hello. I really appreciate it. All right, so anyway, as part of the channel, every Monday we talk about motivation. So I have a couple of good quotes here that I like to think about every day. So anyway, well, let me just go back, take a couple steps back, because I think we have people that don't know what I do. Kate, hi. This is a bit like coaching. That is correct. Yes, and motivation. That is correct. Suzanne, hello. I'm on the move, so I figure I'll jump on here this way, because I don't think I'm going to have time to sit down and chit-chat today, but, but I need my coffee, so here it goes. And Carol, good morning. Carol's Crazy Crochet More. Good to see you. And Kate, you love coaching. Okay, great. All right. So like I said, this I Bring It Everyday channel is a safe space. I respect other people's opinions. So if you don't agree with mine, it's fine. But this is sort of how I've lived my life, I guess, probably for the last, I'm not going to tell you how many years, but during my working life, this is how I live my life. And this is the one thing, these are the quotes. I'm going to pull out a couple of quotes today. And I want you to meditate on these and think about this as you go through the week. Now, listen to this. And I don't know who said this quote, but someone said, respect yourself enough to say, I deserve better. And this is very, very interesting because I don't know in my lifetime if I always lived my life kind of in that mindset. A lot of people are very self-centered. I'm in the middle. Like I've always had to serve, family members and things like that. So I've always had this service kind of, you know, blood in my body. But sometimes, you get into situations, especially in work or school or relationships, where people don't treat you right. Or when I say treat you right, I mean treat you with respect and things like that. And there's certain times when you have to sort of say, I deserve better than what you're giving me. And it's up to you if you want to ask. But usually, I mean, you don't have to ask. But a lot of times, if you sort of pull the negativity out of your life, that's kind of a way of saying, I'm out of here. I'm not gonna. I deserve better. You know, and that's a thing that I had to learn. I learned it very late in life, I would say. And I wish I had learned that sooner. But I love that. So just respect yourself enough to say, I deserve better when you're not getting what you need. All right, Kate. Oh, thank you so much. We got Jamie. Hello. And Jason Nunnery. Have an awesome possum day, boss. Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up. Rico edits. You have an exam at the end of the year. Can you help me to motivate? We will try. So I'm in the United States. And how do you like to plan? Okay. So I'm in the United States. And so the whole thing with planning is some plans are short term. Oh, sure. Oh, no, no problem. Some plans are short term. So when you think of short term planning, I don't have a great example just off the top of my head, but short term would be like 0 to 3 months. It could be a day, it could be 2 days, it could be next week, right? And usually what you have to do is, let's say, like I like that exam, although that's a few months out, but a couple months out. But that's actually a short term goal. I'll use that example that Rico Edit says. So they know they have to do this exam. I don't know how many pages, like if there's a study guide that's associated with the exam, there's probably a certain amount of material. And usually, if it's a certification exam, it's always a big, thick, massive situation where it might be hundreds and hundreds or thousands of pages. So you sort of have to break those pages down into manageable chunks. So let's say I'm just going to pick a number. Let's say you have 1,000 pages to study and you only have 60 days. Well, you got to do that, 1,000 divided by 60 and kind of get those. Try to say, I'm going to at least cover these pages, or maybe you want to cover twice as much so that you can go back over and go back over. But you sort of have to know the best way that works for you in terms of studying. So some people, like usually repetition, repetition, repetition helps, so something like that. So you'd have to break it down. So he only has 2 months left. Let's see, because what is this, October? Yeah, this is no, it's November, December. Yeah, it's 2 months. So, approximately. So I would break it down with the number of days that you have and then break it down that way. Yep. Oh, it's in June. Okay, so you have more time, but that's good. So I would call that like a medium term goal. That's about 8 months, like under a year. So I would say a short term goal might be, a couple of hours to a day or 2 to 3 months maybe. And then a medium term goal might be, 6 months to a year, maybe a year and a half, 18 months. And then a longer term goal would be like a year to like 5 years and sometimes 10 years. So it really depends on how much time you have, because then you can sort of break it down. So what you do is you plan out any of the steps that you think that you need to get there. And you can just brainstorm, and usually what I like to do is just brainstorm and I write it down and I just kind of go, okay, I want to do this, this, and this. And then you got to figure out what steps you have to do to get there. So, you've got that test. And which high school? Oh, yeah, that is huge. That is a huge thing, Rico. I've never been through that, but I understand that's very serious because it all breaks. It's funny. It all rolls. So like whatever high school you get into determines if you go to college, what college you get in. And usually the better high schools get you into the better colleges, which get you into the better jobs. At least that's the way it used to be. And yeah, so that's a big deal. So good for you. But, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to prepare because you don't want to go in there. And this is the other thing I would say is stress. Yeah, yeah, divide it into smaller parts. That's correct. Yeah. And we got Buddha's here. Hello, Buddha of Destiny. Namaste. Hey, I bring it every day in the car. All right now. I am up early because I have to actually go out early today too. Yeah, Monday mornings are got to get out the door. So I need to get myself in my mind right, and that's the plan of the channel. And official Jamie is saying, "Hey, error buddy." See, I don't have a good accent. Error buddy. Hey, Kate and Jamie. Yes. Thanks for the advices. Now I have to go and study. All right. Well, good luck to you. And give yourself breaks. So here's the thing. When you're doing this, you got to take breaks and you have to be calm. So when you take that test, make sure that you're calm because the whole thing is when you're not calm, your mind is crazy, you know. So you want to have the calmest mind that you have when you take the test. And whatever you do that's hard, because when you're calm, you perform much better. So you got to do meditation or whatever it takes to get you in that right frame of mind. But you want to be calm. And that's my advice to you. All right now, Rico, good luck. Yes. All right now. Oh, thanks for the advice. Yep, yep. And then hi Buddha. Everyone's saying hey. Oh, we have hashtag VOM and Latania's cooking for the soul supporters. Wow, very nice. Yes. Thank you so much. All right now. Yeah, so that's good. So that's sort of a, like I said, he would have like a medium, or he or she has a medium. Can't tell. Green hair though. That's really cool. But yeah, that's like a medium term goal. Because June, even though June is not around the corner, yet it is. Because if you think about it, like Halloween is coming up. What, next week? I don't even know what day it is. I guess Thursday, Friday. See, already we're in the end of October, and I swear to you, as far as like, oh, hello, you're good. I'll hand you the cup. Let me see if I can hand you a cup. My husband's here. He's probably like, "What are you doing?" I just had to get off. See, the problem is I've been sitting too much, and so I'm trying to get off my butt and like move. So that's one of the things that I have to do. So like Frugal Mama is amazing. Like she's been doing those workouts and she's got me really thinking like I got to take better care of my body. So I have to keep moving and I have not been moving. We spent way too much. Well, we had a long drive yesterday. So when you do that, you're in the car and you're sitting. And then, so these stupid Fitbit things, they track your movement and they're like, "You haven't moved in 4 hours." That's what happens when you drive an hour and a half. One way and then drive an hour and a half and back. But anyway, hey, Spring. Good to see you. The fiber enthusiast. Awesome. Yes. And then Kate says, "I often want to do it at once often. That's not very motivating." No, it's not. And I think that causes stress, Kate. So the whole thing is you want to be calm. And you're only calm when you're well rested, well eaten, when you've had a good meal or a little bit of, some nutrition in your body. And then when you've prepared yourself, so the key with all this test taking and everything is preparation. So when you know it cold, then you're not stressed, and because when you're stressed, you're not going to do well, and that's for sure. Yep. Yeah. So don't do that. So the cramming, and I never could cram. It never did me any lick of good in college. It was terrible. I could do it in high school because they didn't ask much of you, but college, you're reading like you know 20 times more stuff than you really they give you like 20, 30 times more stuff. Hold on a second. No, I got it. Let me hand that to you. Yeah. So that's the thing that's terrible, you know what I mean. And then if you go to grad school, they even give you like 30 times more stuff than what you're used to reading. So, and that's even worse. So you know what I mean. So when you have like ridiculous amounts of work to do, you really have to sort of break it down into chunks, and then that way you're more calm about it. But if you have like thousands of pages or in front of you, it's stressful. Yep. Let's see. And let's see. Oh, okay. Connected here, my friend. We'll run a playlist when I get back. Okay. Hashtag VOM and Latania's cooking for the soul supporters. That's a really good idea. I think I'm going to do that also, if you don't mind me borrowing that idea. So that's it. So like I said, if people are not serving your best good, you have to respect yourself enough to say, "I deserve better," and keep it moving. Yeah. So that's the first thing. Now here's another thing that like I said, I wrote down all these quotes here, and these were just kind of on my heart. The second one says, now this is for those people who are a little bit older, and a little bit older means anybody above 20. All right. So here it goes. It says, "Don't let maturity kill your inner child." And I don't know who said this, but I just happened to find this. And it says, "Don't let maturity kill your inner child." So don't be afraid to keep learning. Don't be afraid to keep being curious. Because a lot of people, like, you reach a certain age and they say, "Oh, I think I know everything." No, you don't. And so, I think curiosity, makes life interesting. And also, it sort of, like, sometimes, like they say, the more you know, the more you know. Sometimes the more you know can be a little scary, but it just helps you make better decisions. Yep. And when you don't know, you do your research, right? And I say that to everybody. Yes. Let me see. Did I miss? I saw Frugal Mama. Hopefully I said hello. I think I did. Yes. And Buddha's here. Yep. But anyway, thank you all so much for coming. Yeah. So there we go. All right. So here we go. Here's another one that I saw this one this morning. And this one says, "Where you came from doesn't necessarily determine where you're going in life." And there are a lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, but there are a few people that started very, very, like, in meager surroundings, and then they pull themselves out of it. And so, you just have to realize that, with a little bit of planning, you can pull yourself out of a negative situation. You know what I mean? And and I could just say, like, myself, I didn't grow up with a lot of money or things like that, and I was able to make some, accomplishments in life. And for me, like, in terms of my life plan, like, I knew as a young child that I was going to go to college. I didn't know where I was going to go to college, but I said, okay, I'm going to go to college. And I sort of started at a really young age, probably third grade. I said, okay, well, I'm going to try to do the best that I can. And that's really the other thing, you're doing the best that you can, and not letting things just kind of fall to happenstance. So, you get, so if you work reasonably hard, you're going to get slightly better grades, then you're going to get good grades, then you're going to get honors, then you graduate with honors, then you'll get into, a reasonable college, and then from there it kind of goes. So sort of like what Rico was doing, like trying to study for that high school exam test. Like, that is unfortunately very stressful, and I never went through it, so I can't relate on that level. But I know that those high schools are very serious, and they can really point you in a direction in your life, in a positive direction, if you get into the right school, in the right school. And I say right school, or in a better school, things like that. Because people, I mean, I don't know if they do it so much nowadays, but I know in the old, I'm a little, I'm a middle aged person, so um, it was always important. Like, where did you go to school? What were your grades? What kind of activities did you do? Where did you just, and what's interesting is, I did some college recruiting when I was first out of school, and it was funny. There were a lot of young people in there, and a lot of these kids did so many activities. Well, first of all, they had amazing grades. They had straight A's, sometimes higher than a 4.0, although I don't think that exists, but okay. Yeah, but they started doing that thing. And, they were taking, like, these advanced placement courses and stuff like that. But the thing about it was, everybody that I met all kind of did the same thing. So it was sort of like good grade, like hyper high grades. They were valedictorians in their class. They had they had volunteered, done all these activities. And I said, how do you determine, or how do you differentiate between all these people that are great? You know, and I said, I don't know. And I remember I interviewed these three people in one day, and I said, any one of them can get in this school, but how do you determine which one goes in? I don't know. And I think out of the two that I interviewed, only one got in. And it's weird because, well, the one girl I can remember, she was 15. She'd graduated from high school at 15. And I just think she was, like, too young, really, to go to college. But I don't know. I just would not have sent my baby away to school at 15. I think 15 is kind of young. But anyway, it turns out she became a physician, which I knew she would. Like, she kind of fit the profile. And I knew she was going to be fine, like, regardless. But it was just interesting that she didn't get into the school. And I was like, I don't even see how you can say no to this girl. But, it is what it is, right? Okay. So Sweet Pea said, hi, Kelly. Stopping by to say hi. Can't stay. Got busy this morning. I understand that. Yes. So, and hi, Matthew. Good to see you. Yeah, so there's that. All right. So anyway, but she came from meager place too, and she's been a physician now probably 15 years. It's crazy. Yeah. I kind of looked her up because you know how you're on LinkedIn and all this stuff. And I was like, what happened to that girl? Yeah. But she did fine. She's a physician. Don't cry for her. Yes. Yeah. And her grades were crazy. I mean, she had over a 4.0 GPA. I remember that. That was crazy. All right. Now, here's another one kind of going toward, the age thing. They say you're never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. And this is Les Brown. And Les Brown is a motivational speaker. He used to be on TV. He had a show for like a minute. I forget back, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And so that, and I think that's something that I always have to, kick myself, to say that too. Like you're never too old to set another goal, because just because you're over 20 doesn't mean that your life is over. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, a lot of times the younger generation doesn't really appreciate people who are older, which is tragic, but that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But, if there's something that you ever want to do, and I say this and I maintain this, Carol's laughing at me. I know, don't cry for her. Yeah, she's a physician. I know. Yeah. But anyway, so I always say, like, if there's something that you ever want to do, you know, the bucket list thing. I still say the bucket list thing, and I'm still trying to work that Hawaii trip. Um, my husband thinks I'm crazy trying to go back there. So we went there one time already, and he's saying let's go somewhere else. But I still want to go back to Hawaii because it's so chill and the weather is perfect. Usually, they get hurricanes from time to time, but it's only a certain time of the year, and it's about 80. It's usually 80 to 85 degrees and sunny, with a breeze blowing off the ocean every day. That's the weather, and that's my bucket list. I want to get back there, but it's expensive. It averages about $3,000 a person when you go budget. So it's even more than that. And so that's for me, that the financial aspect of it is very daunting for me. So I have to go, ooh, Kelly, do you really want to spend that money? I don't know. You know what I mean? I think about it all the time. Yes. So, but like I said, just you're never too old to set another goal. If there's somewhere you want to go, something you want to do, just remember that life is short and that you have to try to make a plan to get there. And, if it doesn't work, that's fine, but you got to get it. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. Good to see you. And thanks for coming in. Yes. Oh, yeah. And have a good day at work. Yes, yes, yes. I understand work. I know work. Ugh. Yes. But thank you for coming. All right now. So that's the other thing that I was saying. So don't just remember you're never too old. Yes. All right. And that was Les Brown. And then let's see. I like this one too. So anyway, so there we go. Let me do a summation here. So don't forget, if you're not getting the behavior from the people that you're around, respect yourself enough to say you deserve better, and get out of there and get amongst people who are like-minded and that support you in whatever it is that you do. And so that's kind of where I started it. And then, don't forget, your don't forget to be, remain curious. Don't get rid of that inner child, because it makes life interesting. If you're looking at different things, researching different things, learning different things, trying different food, traveling, things like that. It's good for you. And the one example that I'll give is, like, I had a bucket list trip early in my life to go to South America. So I decided I wanted to try to get to South America somehow. I wasn't sure how it was going to happen. And I knew it was going to be fairly expensive. And I also knew that my family was not going to be into it because they weren't. And so I went on a short little study abroad trip. It was like during the summer, so it was like 6 weeks. And and we did a little tour of South America, and we did Colombia, Ecuador, and anywhere else. No, I think that was it. That was a lot though, and we toured quite a bit of both of those countries. And but the thing was, I had to kind of dig and find the right way to do it, because I knew I had no support from my family. My family was like, "Nope, we're not going." And I said, "Well, this is one of those things I'm going to have to do by myself." You know what I mean? And so I found a trip and did it. And it was reasonable because it was college student, so they priced it pretty reasonable for people that you could come up with the money. And they also let you sort of lay away it, that kind of thing. And it worked out really well. But that was one of the things that I said, I can't believe I actually did that. And I can't believe my family couldn't believe that I wanted to do it, first of all. And then the fact that I did it. But anyway, while I was there, I met some really cool people. I learned about, had a little bit of art, like I'm into art. So I learned a little bit about the local art there. Yeah, don't know about layaway. Yes, that's right, Carol. So many people don't know what layaway is anymore. But, well, I'll tell you a funny layaway story I just found too. Um, but, when I went down there, I got to meet good people. I ate some food. Like, for example, and on my channel, I have a tuna recipe that I learned, and I learned this from Ecuador. So Ecuador has a lot of, there's ocean, there. So they have, a lot of fresh seafood and everything. And I was never a big seafood fan because I live in Pennsylvania, so it's very landlocked, and the seafood's kind of, I don't know, it's not that good. It's old by the time it gets here, but they did tuna, and they would grab a whole tuna. The tuna can be huge. They're like 4 feet long, not 4 feet long, but 3 feet long. They get real big. And I did a tuna fillet, and that was one of the best meals I ever had. But they also had a lot of calamari, and then they have a lot of beef because they have a lot of cows. I know that's not good for everybody, but they have. I had some of the best beef I ever had in my life. I couldn't believe it. It was great. Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Carol. You feel so much better after having listened to you for just a short time. Yeah, because like I said, I think starting the week shouldn't be hard, but I mean, I'm just trying to make it easier. Yes. Oh, Boucher Street. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, the whole idea of this is just to make everybody, kind of get our minds right and heading off into a positive path. Because, the world is really negative, as I'm sure you all have seen. And it's hard to get out of that negative draw. It's strong. Negativity is very strong. I never realized how strong it was until probably within the last 10 years. It's been very interesting. But let's see. Oh, we got Tina Bailey. Hello. We got Boucher Street. And John O. What's your most treasured possession? Ooh, that's a good question. I know this sounds really shallow. Well, no, no. I'll tell you. Mostly, I would say like my family is probably my most treasured possession, but that's not really a possession because it's people. But that's really what it is. And the reason that I say this is I was one of those people who never, I didn't really think that I was ever going to get married and have kids, like do that traditional kind of thing. Because I really didn't think it was going to happen. And it's just because I never really hooked up with people who appreciated me. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird. And I think like a lot when I was like, especially a lot of people meet their spouses in college. And I went back and met some of these people later on. And it's really interesting. So on that Ecuador trip, there was oh, Carol, yes, I like that. Your most treasured possession is your mental health. That's huge. Yeah. That's huge. And that's huge if you have a struggle with it. I get that. But the reason why I say my family, like I said, I never thought I was going to get married. First of all, I didn't think I was going to find a husband. Did not think so because it was not happening for a very long time. I wasn't really looking per se, but the people that I was meeting, I could tell that we weren't really going down the same path, at least in mindset wise. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of, so I kept meeting, as they say, frog, frog, frog. I kept meeting frogs. And I said, well, no princes here. Um, or it was just something, there was just something that was off. Maybe it was the religion aspect. Like there was just a lot. So many things that were going on. And then the fact, that I met my husband, I was surprised. Like I was not expecting it. And one of my so anyway, so a lot of these people that I know, not a lot, but a few of the people that I knew in college met each other. So when I was on that Ecuador trip, there were two people that actually hooked up and got married, and they were like, it was sort of like they were drawn to each other. It was very interesting to watch as a third party. Didn't know either of them very well, but they're still together. They've been together like I don't even know how many years now, And I ran into them at a reunion and I went, "Oh my gosh, you guys are still together." I was so happy and I was jumping up and down. And they were just like, "You're so goofy, Kelly." Like, but I'll tell you, it was beautiful because I could see this love growing. Like I said, we were there for about 6.5 weeks, I think, was the trip. And so you're riding, so you're getting on these buses and you're riding along, you're going to these tourist places, and you're in the car a lot. So you're talking, and the two of them just boom together. And so that was cool. So for me, the fact that that happened was good. But then the other thing that I'll say, and I know this sounds really, really like shallow, but we had this minivan a few years ago when my kids were small. And that was like one of my best possessions. And it was something that we found by accident. And I fell in love with this car. And the funny thing was that car lasted like 30 years. Now because we had traded it in, but we or no, we gave it to somebody and they kept it for like 20 years. We had it for like 8 and they had it for like 20 years. That car made it. That car was awesome. And it had leather seats in it. It was captain seats. It was real comfortable. And we would just go everywhere in this car. So that car like brought us joy, which I know sounds very shallow, but it was awesome. But it wasn't fancy. But anyway, oh, Canadian fish and musician, good to see you. Good morning and God bless. God bless you. So yeah, congratulations. Yes, that's great. So there we go. Yeah. So anyway, if anybody else wants to share what their most treasured possession, let me know. That's a good question though. I like that question, Jono. What's your most treasured possession, or do you have one? Yeah. Let us know in the chat. That's a very interesting question. But there we go. Let's see what else did I say today. Oh, yes. And we'll see if anybody answers that, and I'll do my final quote, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, it's not magic. Hey, good morning. So the question is, what is your most treasured possession? So Carol says it's her mental health, which is a huge thing, huge, huge. And let's see. Oh, the Bible. Okay, so Canadian CFM. I'll just call you CFM. My most treasured possession is my Bible. Wow. Oh, there we go. And it's not magic saying, my favorite possession, my sanity. Yes. Yeah, the Bible is a good yeah, it's a good roadmap, for life and how to manage certain things. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of wisdom in Proverbs. If you need to look for some wisdom, Proverbs is a good book of the Bible, and you can put pretty much anything in there will lead you down the right path. Let's see. Wellness with Frugal Mama saying my most treasured possession would be my dad's jewelry. I have a ring and the bracelet. That's right, because your dad passed away. That's cool. Yeah, that's a big thing. I have not been through that, so I cannot relate. But I can only imagine like that probably brings you a little bit of you have a memory, which is pretty cool. Yes, very nice. Yeah. So like I said, for me is the family that I didn't think I would get. So that was pretty cool. Let's see, we got Jared Talks. Good morning. Hey, how's it going? Yes. Now here's the thing that I've noticed about YouTube, and the whole thing with YouTube. They always talk about communities, right? And let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see. It's not magic. Is saying any possession can be taken away. Memories and sanity stay. I got you on that one. See, and that's why I was kind of. I wanted to say that minivan. I think that minivan that I got. It was weird. Like we had so many really good memories in that, and and I think that's what it is. It's more the memories in the minivan that came with the minivan, and that was it. So I didn't want to say that as my first choice, but I said my family because, like I said, it was sort of like a blessing that was unexpected. Yeah, and that's why I said that first. Yep. Let's see, and then yeah, and then wellness is agreeing with it's not magic. Yes, yeah, possessions can be taken away, and this is very interesting. Um, when you think about it, I forget what the verse is. Maybe CFN can tell us, but where they say don't make treasures here on earth. You want the heavenly possession. You want to get to heaven when you're done, right? And it's true because any treasure that you have here on earth can be stolen, rusted. I forget how they say it. Waste, rust. You know. Yep. Yep. Oh boy. And okay, it's not magic saying I have actually walked away from a life with just the clothes on my back. Wow. and my life is better than ever. And that is interesting. That is a very interesting, because when you think about it, like my husband and I, it's interesting. Not that we've made like a ton of money or anything like that, but definitely when we were living in our little small place, we really had a lot of fun memories in there, and like we moved out. I mean, well, our neighborhood got weird, so we had to get out of there. After a while, you're just like, there's too much stuff happening here. Have to get out, get a little space. But in our little house that we first had together, we did a lot of renovation and stuff like that, and there's definitely some good memories in there. You know what I mean? And that was awesome. And we had a really good time, sort of painting, and like we put flooring in, painting and stuff like that. It was cool, you know. And that was like, and we had nothing other than that house. You know what I mean? It was cool. Yep. And then, oh, how did you find your prince? Oh, Carol, you're so funny. Let's see. So we actually, believe it or not, we met in church, and it was weird because I think I we found this. Oh, there's Rosalie. Yes, I can see you now. There you go. Yes. We met in church, and we belonged to this really massive church, and it was weird because it was so big that we didn't have a building, so we would always meet in hotels and stuff like that, and it was cool, so I met a lot of people. So I think what happened that when I joined this church was that they just had so many people from so many places, and it was very, very diverse, and and that's how we met. So it was kind of weird. So and then we would sort of they sort of try to start people, you know, biblically dating. So people were just kind of doing group activities and things like that. So you really get to know people when you're doing group activities. And then you sort of run into people, sort of like people did bond and stuff like that. But I think, we sort of knew after we spent a few hours together that we were probably going to get together. So it was interesting. Yeah. But that's it. Let's see. And then I was here a while messaging. Oh, sorry. Didn't see you. Oh, what would you do if I won $1 million? That's what John was saying. Ooh, I do have some plans. Now, believe it or not, I have that all planned out. So for me, so it's weird. Um, I want to set up my. I have two kids, so I would set them up with a little bit of cash, and not too much, but just a little bit of cash, and then a lot of it I would probably donate. So I do a lot of volunteer with my libraries. So in our state, and I don't know about other states, but I think library funding has been like it's been bad for about 10 years, and so I would donate there. Also, I like St. Jude's and other children's hospitals. So I do a lot of medical. I have a little bit of a medical background, not really, but sort of kind of. And so for me, I want to do something like related to medical, donating in a medical, so hospitals and things like that. But literacy is the other thing that I'm into. So let's see. Oh no, you think it's YouTube and your laptop? Okay, Rosalie, gotcha. But good to see you. And she's saying, okay, good. Now, good morning, Kelly and Chad. I love it. Oh, yes, there we go. It's not magic. Yes. So first, you do have to get an investment lawyer. That is correct. Yeah. So the thing is, I'll tell you my little. So I met this guy when I was in college, and he won like I don't want to dime him out, but this guy won like $50,000. Okay, and we were 18, when it happened, and I said he used to play he used to go to the convenience store every day and buy a lottery ticket every day. He did it every day. He was kind of he was on the line of a pretty bad gambler. But anyway, he won this money, and guess what? By the time the taxes were paid and things like that, that money was gone in about 6 months, which is very tragic. And that makes me so sad every time I think about it. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what happened to him real quick. So of course, he was from the poor side of town. He had less money than I had. I had no. I think I had like $500 to my name when I was in college. That was it. I had $500. That had to last me 4 years, and he had less. He had like nothing, and he had gotten a scholarship to the school we were going, And he, like I said, he won this lot. He won this lottery, and he was telling myself and a couple of people about it. And I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "You should put that in the bank like right now." Like that's what I said to him. I said, "Take that money and just stick it in the bank, and then before you do anything." And he goes, "Oh no, no, I got it, I got it." Well, between his family members asking him for money and things like that, like $50,000, and I think once the taxes, it might have been 30,000, is what he ended up getting. It really is a. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money, and it's really easy to blow through. You know what I mean? And we were in a fairly expensive college, so that money, between he paid, he bought some books and stuff. Like by the time you buy a couple of books and pay some of your school fees, it's gone. And but he had family members that were constantly asking him for 50, $100, and it was tragic. And I just he was a nice guy. That was the other problem. He was too nice, and so these people took advantage of him, and it was his family mostly. So yeah, so that's what happens when you get money. So be careful. Be careful what you wish for. Yep. Oh, we got Michi. Oh, there we go. Hello. Good morning. Nice. Good to see you. All right, Michi. And congratulations, by the way. Yes. Yes. And then it's not magic is saying yes. Family and friends come out of the woodwork. They do. Yes. Yeah, so that's what happens. So yeah, make sure you get an investment attorney. And if you listen and if you Google any of the lottery winners, that's usually what happens to them. Yeah, it's kind of tragic. Oh, you're starting work already, Michi. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that schedule's crazy. I don't know how you guys do it and keep your mind straight. But so getting back to a little bit back to YouTube, and this is this one quote that I found. This is from Elizabeth Gilbert, you know, and she says, "We must take care of our families wherever we find them." And I thought that was so interesting because speaking of these, you have your blood family, and you see what that my poor friend's blood family did to him. They really got him, and like I said, that money was gone in 6 months, and I was so sad for him because I thought this would get him through a little bit. You know what I mean? Or I figured it would last him a year or two. With all the fees that we were paying, like I knew what we were paying, and so I said, "Oh." But anyway, so that's tragic. So sometimes your family isn't necessarily your blood family. And that's how this YouTube thing, these communities, they really become your family. So we must take care of our families wherever we find them. And that's my final quote for the day. But that's Elizabeth Gilbert. And so, and let me know what you think of that. But that's very interesting, isn't it? Let's see. And then Jono says, where would you like to time travel? Ooh, back to the past or to the future? Ooh, good question. I don't know. See, the past is weird. Probably. Oh, so Michi wants to go to the past. Yeah, where do you guys want to go? Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm kind of a question mark on that one. The future. See, the only problem is I don't know if I would fit in the future because I would be not that I have to fit all the time, but I think would I be comfortable in the future? I don't know. And that's kind of that's why my question. Yep. So Michi says the past. So I like the clothing. Like I'll tell you, some of the clothes in the past, pretty cool. The cars, awesome. Let's see. I would like to go back to the past to spend better quality time with my dad and my sister who have passed. That's what Carol's saying. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And it's not magic saying, Jono, neither. You can't change the past and don't want to know the future. Surprise me. Okay. And that is and that is life experience talk in there. Yeah. Because it's weird, like the past. Yeah, it's weird. Like do overs, like in those movies, Back to the Future. Like, would you do something differently if you went back? It's a good question. But remember, we're all here. Oh, medieval times. That's what Michi likes. Okay, or the 1800s. Okay, but the thing that's interesting about that is, my understanding of all this is we're supposed to we're here we're one more time. We are where we are supposed to be. There we go. And so there's certain lessons that you're supposed to learn in life. So they say, there's a reason that we're all here today. I don't know what it is, but I think it's cool, that you guys support coming to the channel. I really appreciate it. And like I said, the evil plan of my channel is to get people thinking kind of more on a positive note and just getting this week started. Because like I said, for a lot of people, they're doing jobs that they don't love, and it sometimes you have to sort of pull yourself out of bed and get out the door and keep going. You know what I mean? Because you have to earn a living, and I get that. But um, just visit the past for a little. Oh, okay, Michi's laughing. Yep. And it's not magic saying, but if you do something different in the past, you change the future and you come back to different. That is so true. Yeah, and that's the reason why in those movies they always say, do not if these people that do like, craft, witchcraft or whatever, they say if you go back, you can't change what's happening. You just have to watch. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it's true. You will change the future if you go back and do something different. Yep. Oh, Eric Lapointe. Hey, working and listening. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Yes. Did we learn nothing from Back to the Future? That's correct. Yeah, that movie's interesting, isn't it? Yes, yes. So there it is. So that's the whole thing. So, but the bottom line is, they say, let's. Speaking of that, I'll end on this note. Today is a gift because it's the present. There we go. So you have to make sure, if you've been awakened this morning, yes. Yeah, that right. Great topic. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that wasn't my topic, but I like it. Eric, yeah, that's awesome. But the thing is, like today is, the present, which is today, is a gift, and the Most High, decided to wake us all up. So there's something we're supposed to be doing today. So think about what it is that you want to leave. Your legacy. On this earth. Do you want to be a positive influence? Do you want to be? Hopefully, you want to be a positive influence, and so the idea is, at least for me, social media can be negative, and so I'm trying to put out some positive vibes out on social media. Yeah. So yeah, this is great, Jono. Well, thanks for coming. So come back to the channel, check it out, and please hit the thumbs up. I appreciate everybody who came in today. I actually have to go rush out the door. I'm gonna chug my coffee. I have to go zipping out the door. But anyway, have a good day, Michi, if you're still here, and save those lives over there. Oh, there's Drew. Hey. And thank you, Jono. Yeah, for coming. And see, Drew's here. Drew's Adventures. Good day, Kelly. Also, please remind me if I spell your name right. No E, but you're close. And hope you're well. Thank you. And hugs. Yes. Everyone's saying goodbye. Drew, only one. How many L's are there? No, two L's. Two L's, one I. Yes. Oh, time zone. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Drew is down under. So he's what, 13 hours ahead or something from the East Coast. It's crazy. Yes. That's it. Yep. Okay. But anyway, thank you all so much for coming this morning. Have a great week. Come back, Jono. Check out the channel. Oh, what movie would you want to be if your life was a movie? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, my life is weird, Jono. I don't think my life doesn't match a lot of movies. It really doesn't. Cinderella sounds good. No, I don't want Cinderella, but I'm joking. Let's see. Have a great day, friends. That's what Drew's saying for next time. Jono's saying, and 11:33 p.m. here on Monday. See, isn't that crazy? So yeah, you're like 12. No, you're 13 hours. Wow, that's crazy. And Drew has twins. Uh-oh. And Boucher said, I would have to say yours is mine and mine is ours movie I would like to be in. Oh, that was a crazy movie. Yeah, I remember that. Although it was, did you see the first version of that movie from the 70s? It had Lucille Ball. They had some really inappropriate things in that movie. I couldn't believe it. But the updated one with Dennis Quaid is interesting. Not quite the same, but check out the old version of that. That movie was crazy. Yes. Let's see. The future is good, folks. Because I'm in the future. LOL. Yeah, Drew is in the future. That's correct. And let's see. Carol saying, so Drew is our future. LOL. That is correct. So, well, is it good over there, Drew? Is the future better? Is anything happening today that we missed? Or that we should know about? But anyway, I'm crazy. Let me stop. Yes. That's so great. So thank you all so much, my YouTube family. I appreciate you all. Come back. We'll have some fun. We'll try this again. But anyway, I'm on the move. I'm in the kitchen. Oh, it's been a nice day here. That's what Drew's saying. That's awesome. All right now. Well, listen, have a good week, have a good day, have a good week. Make some good plans and have a little fun. Try to, like you got to take little breaks, have fun, work hard, but take some little breaks because you need to maintain all of that balance. You know what I'm saying? And that's my little spiel for the day. All right now. We'll see you guys soon and take care. Bye bye.